Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about Sleepy Hollow, the 1999 movie review. Finally, I have seen this movie. I've wanted to see this movie for over 20 years. It's taken that long. I came close a couple of years back. I forget exactly when. I might have been in college at that time. I remember being in my dorm, I think. And so the movie came on TV, and as I'm watching it, I'm just like, is this a comedy? Like, why is Johnny acting so quirky in this movie? So I turned it off. But then, when I had, what was that thing called, Epic, for a month for 99 cents, this movie was there. So I'm like, okay, well, I finally get to watch it. And I watched it, and my God, I was amazed at how good this movie is. There's a real surreal, goth, eerie feel to this movie. And it was made in 1999. The CGI is amazing. Everything looks so real, except for one part. I'll get to that a little bit later. Actually, I'll get to it now. It's the part where those guys are pretending to be the Headless Horseman, and they have Pumpkin as a head, and then they throw it at Johnny, or Ichabod, and it's like flaming. That's the only time they ever look fake. But my God, man, this was just like that. The CGI looks so much better than most CGI today. It's insane. And so this is a loose adaptation of it. It was directed by Tim Burton. And this is one of Tim Burton's finest movies. A lot of people nowadays say Tim has sold out because all he makes is like adaptations of other people's work and doesn't do his own. I don't really know what to say about that. I mean, I've never been like a hardcore fan like most people. Like I saw Edward Scissorhands, the Batman movies, the Alice in Wonderland movies, and what's the other one? The other one with Johnny was like a vampire, Dark Shadow or something like that. I don't know. It was a star-studded cast of movies. So, and now this one, and of course, he's gonna do the whole Wednesday Addams Netflix show. So I've never seen really none of his original stuff other than Edward Scissorhand. And so I can't really like judge, you know what I'm saying? But this movie was just incredible. Like it has that like tilted muted color palette that's slightly bluish, not overly blue saturated like most stuff today. Because it was filmed with film, it has that grainy look to it that makes it even more real. There's too much clarity and clearness in newer stuff that's just like really getting on my nerves, especially when they have like a lot of CGI, like Doctor Strange 2. The beginning of that movie was so CGI feel and so crystal clear, it just looks so saturated and stuff. But here you have something to sink your teeth into. And so he does alter this story. Like I said, it's a loose adaptation and everything. Johnny plays Ichabod Crane and everything. And Christina Ricci plays, what's her name in this? Katrina. And I didn't even recognize Christina Ricci at first. I mean, yeah, the face, but she looks so different with the clothes, and the blonde hair really makes a difference. And I've always been a fan of hers. I remember Johnny from 21 Jump Street, and of course the Pirates movies and stuff. And this is my first time seeing Michael Gambon, the what's his name, Dumbledore dude, slightly youngish and stuff. I've never seen him look this way before. But there's the woman who plays Lady Mary Van Tassel. Oh, my bad for yawning. It's late. I remember her from the Merlin movie, from the Harry Potter movies and stuff. But so, yeah, I think this story was very well written. It was very well directed and stuff. I love the scenery. The scenery looks so good. Now there is one scene where he uses like a set piece because you know he's all about miniatures and stuff like that and set. And you can tell that part looks fake, but it looks real fake. So that's the cool thing about it. The Headless Horseman looks just like amazing riding that horse. You always feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can feel it through the screen. he really looks like he's headless and stuff. And he has that big long sword and he's just chopping people's heads off left and right. And they actually show people's heads getting chopped off Highlander movie style and stuff. And so basically, Ichabod is kind of like a cop, a forensic scientist. He's investigating a slew of murders, trying to see what's going on. And then he determines it's from the Headless Horseman. Now, he has a fear of like blood and gore, and when he sees it, he just passes out. And so, like, he must determine and figure out a way to stop this dude. Well, one boy becomes an orphan named Mesbeth, and he wants to help Ichabod, so he allows him and stuff. So while there, we're getting to know some of the people. They're very scandalous. People having affairs, rich people just being corrupt, you know, stuff like that. And so the townspeople are very scared of this thing. And Katrina's dad is one of those like really important type people. Well, when they changed the origin story, they change it a lot with Ichabod. Like we keep seeing like scenes of his backstory, him being a little boy. This is the part that's kind of weird in the way it's filmed. That's how you know it has that Burton style to it, you know. And his mom is just this weird kind of lady who dad is very abusive, and then he ends up killing her. And then so like she gives him a gift. It's like I don't know exactly what it is. It's like a cloth with string attached to it. On one side it's a bird cage, on the other side is a bird, and when you flip it over and over, it looks like the bird is in the cage, and we just constantly see him doing this. It like calms his nerves and stuff. And I was thinking maybe there's a bigger picture to that, but no, it's just Tim Burton being Tim Burton. And so like it turns out to be like a witch in this movie, and he's trying to figure out like what this headless horseman is about. Apparently it's being controlled by somebody. So they're trying to find out like, you know, who is being controlled by and stop the grisly murders. And this thing is just attacking random, not necessarily random people, like important people, but there's no real pattern. So it's kind of hard to figure out why this thing is just like killing people. He assumes at one point that Katrina's dad is the one controlling it until her dad is beheaded. And so it's later revealed to be Katrina's stepmom, Lady Mary Van Tassel. And it turns out her family used to have money, then they were driven out. They became poor. The Headless Horseman used to be a mercenary back in the day. His head got chopped off. And so, like, then she knows witchcraft, so she was able to control his body. Basically what it is, she wants to be in power. She punishes those who did her wrong, and she marries into like wealthy families and then has the man killed so she can inherit everything. And so that's why she wants Katrina dead, because you know she'll inherit stuff. And so there's like this tree of the dead type thing, and at some point I forget exactly how, but they cause it to where she loses control of the horseman and he starts to regain his face back, and you see everything growing back, the muscles, the ligaments, the tendons, the flesh and everything. So he takes like Lady Mary into like the dead tree and stuff, and it's just like this insane roller coaster like ride, but back in like the old days, you know. And so like then after that, of course, him and Katrina, they moved to like a different country and they're visiting there and they're living happily ever after, like the end. But you know, you really have to watch this movie and experience it for yourself. It's just one of those type of experiences that you just have to take in, and you'll just be so wild and like amazed by everything you see and stuff. Like I've seen older stuff before, people's like horses and swords and this and that, but I've never had this type of like weird, like eerie goth type feeling that this has, you know, like it has a real goth feel to it when you watch it. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.